What's up, world? This is WeNeeda5th. This your man Mo. Hill in the building.
You chilling? What's up?
Got my man P in the building.
What up?
Fellas, we finally back in the building. A lot's been going on, but I kind of want to revisit a discussion we had during the season, whatnot. We've talked about the MVP for the NBA, and I think we've been pretty consistent as far as stating our support for SGA. But fellas, I got a question, man. The Joker is out here. Hey, his numbers are ridiculous. I believe right now he's averaging about a 30-point triple-double. Is it more voter fatigue for Joker? First, let me ask, has this become a real MVP race?
I mean, it depends who you ask. For me, no. Joker's having an extraordinary season. Like, let's just put that out there. It's, it's triple-double, all of that.
And I'm going to put it out there, too. Better than any of his MVP seasons.
Okay. But SGA is leading the league in scoring. And he's like 10 games ahead of Denver. OKC's
12.
12. Again, Joker's having an extraordinary season. I think SGA is clearly the MVP. I don't really see it being, you know what I mean? Like, I think Joker has a lockdown as being the second. You know what I mean? But I don't hesitate saying I think SGA is the MVP this year.
So you don't agree with Mike Malone when he said that, hey, if you took SGA and Joker and just removed their names and just put their stats up, you would pick Joker?
Yeah, because SGA leads the league in scoring. And his team is better. So what are we talking about? Joker's a better rebounder? Okay.
And assists.
Okay.
Shea gets more block shots.
What does that get you, though?
Joker gets more steals.
Yeah, but what does that get you?
Shea's 50, 40, 90.
I don't know if Joker's there, but
yeah,
his numbers are crazy right now.
Shea's 50, 40, 90.
Yeah, to me, he scores more and he wins more. What are we talking about?
Less turnovers, too.
I don't understand it. I don't get it. Okay. I don't get it.
So for you guys, hey, there is no discussion.
I mean, the clear view for me is he's 12 games over it.
Yeah. So are we talking
with a less experience? I mean, going into it, everybody was saying how weary they are with OKC, and people still are.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep winning in double-digit fashion. Like I said, they're up on 12 wins on the next, I guess, comparable MVP person. That's way of a margin for me. You know what I mean? And personally, I feel like from an outside looking in view, people think Denver has a better team.
Mm.
And it's because of Shea and the maturity and giving faith to these guys that's there. They feel like they're better than Denver. I don't personally have it close. And Joker's having an outstanding year.
Now, do you think that's because, like I said, hey, for the majority of the season, we pretty much identify SGA as that MVP leading MVP candidate? Do you think that because of that narrative that we've carried through most of the season, it's hard to get off of it? You know what I mean? Or even consider something alternative to that?
No,
it's not a narrative, it's a fact. You know what I mean? It's not like a storyline. He's actually, like you said, he's actually 12 games up on Joker. He's actually leading the league in scoring.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It's been, like, I'm not going to punish him for being consistent.
Right, and the metric is, to me, the metric is different for Joker. Like, there were times that he had a better record than Embiid, but Embiid had better stats.
Mm.
And it went to Joker. So, why is now I'm making my claim for he has a clear-cut number too. Like Joker he's having a tremendous season, and I don't think anyone should be second besides him. But I don't see how this is even a question. Because if you put it into question, that's how things get a little murky, and that's how you fall into your Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson type things. You're bringing it closer and closer and closer. You're skewing it enough to say, well, now I can see. Now you give it to Josh. You don't want to do that in this case.
Okay.
I mean, Lamar Jackson was the MVP last year, and Shea should be it this year. He's running away with it. I mean, he's literally running away with it. He's, like I said, he's 12 games ahead of this guy.
Let me ask you guys this. Who would be your top 5 contenders for the MVP?
I got Shea 1, 2 Joker. I got Donovan Mitchell 3, Tatum 4, and
I know you don't want to give it to him, but might have to, yo.
He's probably 6. You're thinking he's probably 6.
He should be 5th, yo. He should be 5th because I don't think you got anybody else that you can name that's got a bigger impact for their team.
Oh yeah, there you go. Jalen Brunson.
Wow,
Jalen Brunson's a bigger impact for losing. Jalen Brunson's a bigger impact than the Lakers losing LeBron James.
Okay.
P. Yeah, just flip flop Mitchell and Tatum. Yeah, I got SGA, Joker, Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, then Jalen Brunson.
All right, I'm pretty good with y'all list. Like I said, 5 for me would be LeBron.
Heck of a record.
Yeah, I think. I don't think any Laker fan expected them to be where they're at right now.
Mm-mm.
You know,
I agree with that.
Really?
And,
You got LeBron and Anthony Davis.
I didn't have him making the playoffs.
Then you got LeBron and Luka Doncic.
I
I'm not a Laker fan, so I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them struggle again in last year, and I saw it again this year. And then once they had Luka, I said, oh, it's better. But prior to Luka getting there, they had a good record. That's the only reason why I said I might have him 6. But like you said, he's adding an all-pro first-team guy for the last 5 years.
mm-hmm.
Save me with the LeBron stuff. You have no respect for
you have no respect for LeBron.
Jalen Brunson is
LeBron is pretty good too, man.
The Knicks aren't obscure anymore. You believe you think that Jason Hart should? Like, I have him as a Laker. Like, you think he can do things?
Do you think that the Knicks are going to be a contender, a champion? Like realistically,
I don't think they could be Boston. That's the only thing.
And see, this is where I come into conflict with Knicks fans, and this is why I despise the Knicks and despise Knicks fans and the whole nine, is because, hey, y'all have a good team. It's a good team. It's not a championship team. Stop. They're not in the room with right? No, they can't. They can't. They're barely. This team.
I haven't beat them.
This team right now, yo.
They can scare them.
They can scare Miami and Milwaukee. I think
they could beat Miami and Milwaukee.
I think they could beat. I know they can beat Miami with the team that they have now in Miami, but I'm not convinced that they can beat Milwaukee.
Okay.
You know, like I'm not convinced that they can beat the top tier teams in either conference. The top 3 or 4 teams in either conference, I don't think the Knicks have an answer for any of them.
Well, like you said, we'll see. I guess why I have Jalen ranked so high. I think him, OG, and finally Mikal Bridges coming into his own with that mid-range game. And Cat, healthy, I wouldn't put it past a Cleveland upset. Boston maybe not as much. Might have too much firepower. But they beat Boston.
Yeah, it depends on their health. Like, I think.
I don't know.
I don't think they.
Without Porzingis, they could beat them in the series.
Okay, see,
which
you're right.
And Pete, I'm at this point where I don't think, even if they're fully healthy, Boston, I don't think they can beat them. Period. Like, even without Porzingis, I don't think they're beating that. Boston without Porzingis, I still think it beats New York.
Okay.
Whatchamacallit. And now you have Mikal Bridges and telling Tibbs that, hey, you playing the starters too much. It's too many minutes.
We've been down this road before.
You know? Yeah. And you know how that ends up with Tibbs. Like, what are we talking about? But, hey, I digressed. Wow.
Jay, you have soft landing here.
Huh?
I said, LBJ, there is some soft landing here at WeNeeda5th. They still believe at age 22. He's playing very well. Very well.
And honestly, did you think he would be putting up these type of numbers and that the Lakers would be playing as well?
Like I said, I had them on the outs. When our pre-picks, I had them in Golden State on the outs. You know, maybe Steph is in the top 10 too. But I don't think it matters once you pass 3 or 4, like when you're talking about MVP. But
all right,
defying time.
Hey, NBA getting closer and closer to playoffs and whatnot. So now we got to talk about player team health. You know, to your point, hey, Jalen Brunson's out with the Knicks, high ankle sprain, I believe. Say 2 to 3 weeks, maybe. Siding on the 2-week side of it. How do you think these injuries? Because it's not only Jalen Brunson, it's LeBron to the point. Luka had to sit out last night. Wemby's hurt. De'Aaron Fox is hurt. Was Dallas with AD and Kyrie going down. Philadelphia with Embiid and Paul George. We've seen a lot of injuries to a lot of big stars. How do you think this is going to affect the playoff race going forward, or teams' ability to contend for the championships? For example, hey, we talked about Porzingis with Boston. He's still out with unknown illness and whatnot. It looks like he's going to be working his way back in the next week or so, but to you guys' point, hey, that's not a guarantee. He's always been up and down with his availability and health is concerned. So let me ask this question first. What teams do you think can weather the storm? That, hey, yeah, you got a major star out, but only going to be out 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks. They should be able to weather the storm and still, move forward on their journey.
Well, all the playoff teams, like I think the Lakers, Knicks, and Celtics will be okay for 2 weeks. If they could play 500 ball, they'd be okay. In Philly and San Antonio, they weren't contenders anyway. I mean, get well Wemby, of course. That's more serious. That's more like real life stuff. But Philadelphia, they have Philadelphia, they're just broken.
Philadelphia, what do you do with the process? As far as, do you
sit him out?
I mean, they've already decided to sit him out for the rest of the season. But how do you, if you're Philadelphia and Joel Embiid, how do you prepare yourself so that this doesn't occur again, or the likelihood of you missing an entire season is lowered? Or is there anything that he
would do that now? He's thinking about that now?
I'm thinking about, hey, how do you prepare him to rehab his body, and then put him in a better position to stay healthy?
Retire. Leave. Walk. Enjoy life. That's the only way. I mean,
so cool.
Rehab is lengthy. It's treacherous, but you have to put in the work. I mean, he's been down this road multiple times and had the same outcome. what is there to talk about or better condition himself now to have a better year? What could that be?
Do you think he should retire?
Well, I haven't seen him play. I wouldn't mind it.
No, I wouldn't say retire. It's just something for Porzingis. He's just injury prone. I don't know if there's anything you can do. If it is, they're not doing it. If they haven't figured out in 10 years, they're not going to figure it out. So I look at him and Porzingis as the same. They're just injury prone. I don't expect them to play more than 60 games.
Going in game 12, he's hurt, and he's out for 3 weeks, and then he's out for 4 months. Like I get used to not seeing him. I mean,
yeah, I think Embiid literally, I think, missed half of his games, possible games in his career. So him playing is almost the anomaly at this point. Not sitting out.
It gets tiring.
Bo suggested it's probably unrealistic for me to even propose this. But do you consider trading Embiid?
If you can get something high, oh my God. Absolutely. If some sucker GM feels that they want to give you 75 cents on the dollar for him, geez, you run for it. I package Paul George too.
Is there a team that he can have an immediate?
Lakers.
Okay.
Lakers. Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, he can help any team.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the Lakers. That's their weakness, in my opinion.
I think Golden State.
Golden State. He can help whoever. Sacramento. Portland. Whoever. He can help. He's that good, but he's not going to play. So it's kind of like a pipe dream.
Mm.
He can help Philly. You know what I mean? Like, but he doesn't play. That's the whole point. So whoever, like you said, whatever the sucker GM make the deal, they think that they can make him healthy. They could change him. You don't want to be that chick, but that dude, I could change her.
She ain't for the streets no more.
Right? You turn in. You know.
I love her.
I like Joel Embiid. So I don't. It's not. He's like one of my favorite plays actually. But he's just so it's like you don't want to try to turn her into a housewife,
Hey,
bro.
talk about the Spurs. Are you concerned about Wimby's injury and this happening so early? Second year in the NBA.
Well, it's a medical problem.
Yeah, it's not even like
so. It's not even been injured. Like it's health wise. Like you just pray that he gets what he needs to just survive. Now we're talking like the human aspect.
Yeah.
And then whenever he comes back, he just comes back. I think we could wait. He's young enough. Just get healthy.
And I know. What's your thoughts, P? I'm sorry.
Oh no, the same. Just like we said it earlier. I just hope he gets his blood clots. This isn't like a bum ankle or he's not in physical shape. It's like kind of like a freak medical situation. So you just hope he gets better. Just hope the young man gets better and he's able to play basketball.
I know we didn't get a large sample size, but what did you guys think of him and De'Aaron Fox together?
What did they have? 2 games?
Maybe 3 or 4.
I mean, I don't even need it. I'm with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just De'Aaron Fox when me sign me up.
Yeah, both resumes.
Yeah.
Good on that.
Okay. Next thing I want to talk about, Dallas. My first question to you guys is, do you bring AD back this season?
Oh.
If you're Dallas.
No,
Not like if he's healthy, do you bring him back into play again?
No.
Or you shut him down for the rest of the season?
I shut him down and come back with a full camp with him and Kyrie. Where you at with that, P?
If he's 100% healthy, I'll bring him back. But if it's like he's not all the way there, I'm not by no means am I rushing him back because you're not playing him for anything at this point.
Now, would your answer change if Gafford and Lively were also healthy at that time?
If he's not 100%?
If AD's is 100% is healthy, AD is never 100%. But if he's healthy,
well, if he's healthy if he's cleared and play back, I mean, he has a job. He should be playing. I mean, but if he's my whole thing is if he's not, I'm thinking that he's never really 100%. So if he's like 60% and he's feeling nicked and you're pushing him out there, then no, I wouldn't play him.
Yeah.
But if he's playable, you should be on the court. Yeah, it's your job. I think that gets missed quite a bit. Like I wouldn't sit him just to sit him because Kyrie is not there. If he's able to play, then
I'm not with the action.
out there.
I'm not with the action figures to keep him in the box. Like, I'm not with that.
I don't care who they got on the court. Like it just sucks we don't have Kyrie out here, but you're supposed to be out there playing and putting up some numbers.
Okay. Now let's go to some of these playoff teams. Let's start with New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson's down. He should come back in about 2 weeks, whatnot.
Pulled out some gutsy wins without him.
Do you? I'm gonna ask a question I already feel like we all know the answer to. Is Tibbs going to actually use this time to develop somebody outside of that 7-man rotation he has?
I don't know, but I know he needs. The thing that scares me for the Knicks is, of course, if Jalen's not there, I don't think they have a shot. But the workload, for me, one person that scares me the most is OG. And I think if OG gets hurt, then I don't think that team could really go far. If he's healthy, that's what scares me with the Knicks coming out the East. I think there's a good chance because I love OG and Mikal is two-way players. You know, so but the minutes they log and the way OG plays, I can see him getting hurt again, and I really don't want, especially with Brunson out. They're asking him to shoulder a lot of the offensive load. It's Tibbs. I don't know. If you knew, pause for the phrase, if you knew balls against the wall for playing defense and offense the way Tibbs is, how do you make a leopard change the spots? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way he coaches. Like he coaches hard.
I have no problem with Tibbs.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm the minority. I have no problem with basketball players playing basketball.
Yeah, that's the way he coached. I mean, for him to pull back the restraints, I don't think it would be him,
but
in his coaching way,
But to your point, Pete, like with Tibbs, I'm getting tired of this narrative in the sense that, hey, when is he gonna grow as a coach? You only use hey, and this has been the common critique of his coaching style and why he's lost jobs in multiple places. Like, hey,
and he's gotten jobs in multiple places.
Yeah. But it's like, hey, at what point do you make an adjustment and say, you know what, let me try using 8 or 9-man rotation. Let me just try it. And even especially when you got your stars out. Hey, Jalen Brunson's down. Let's try to go to an 8 or 9-man rotation and see how that works out.
But
your main star shouldn't be out, and then one of the Iron Men of the league who actually plays full seasons, Mikal Bridges, coming out the game after he hits the game-winning shot saying, yo, we playing too much. Like, yo, that's ridiculous. When do you start to read the room?
Yeah, to me, I'm just more disappointed in Mikal Bridges. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of lottery teams that play 10 plays a night. They're lottery teams.
Yeah, but you also have plenty of deep teams, championship teams that play 8 or 9. You got Denver. You got OKC. You got
OKC's not a championship team.
They're the number 1 in the West.
Okay, but they're not a championship team.
And my thing would be, hey, he's never had that, a number 1 team in the conference.
Okay, but he's going to the second round, just like OKC's going to the second round. So there's no difference.
Who do you think is going to have a better playoff run?
OKC, because they have SGA.
Yeah.
They're a better team.
And
They have more talent.
they use more of their team.
Because they have more talent.
More talent on the bench. You have to think. You have to think about. They leverage a whole bunch of picks. Like these picks that's on the bottom of their bench are high draft picks. Like,
I understand that,
deals, so
but
they have more talent.
But I'm not saying, hey, Tibbs, find another Jalen Brunson. But damn it, you can't use you got a team of professional basketball players. They're part of the top 1%, top 0.1%, because there's only 450 of them.
Yeah, but that don't make them good, because you have to fill out a roster too, and that goes with salary cap. You know what I mean? You still have to fill out a roster. You're not gonna have your Isaiah Joe and a Wiggins at a lot of these benches.
I'm just of the thought that a team should have more than 7 good, solid players. 7 solid players. Forget good, just solid.
But
you know what I mean.
They do though. You know what I'm saying? But they're just not as good as the other teams. They are like they're there for a reason. It's a very hard sport to get into, so they are good. They're just not as good as the benches on other teams.
Yeah, I'm looking at they're the 3rd best team in the East. What's the problem with Tibbs? I don't understand. Like, they're not better than Boston, and they're not better than Cleveland. They're where they're supposed to be. So I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I think he's done a good job. I'm okay with the short rotation.
I mean, yeah. And also then you look upstairs. Then you give me better players towards the end of the bench that I can play. Because Landry Shaman's not going to turn into Kobe Bryant, but he plays him. I mean, he's a serviceable body. I asked the GM to probably get some better players towards the end of the bench, but at the same time, you do have a salary cap.
It just, I see teams like the Lakers, like Golden State, that go deeper into their rotation, right. And I don't think, especially for like a team like Golden State, I don't think their bench is better than New York.
No, the team's not better than
it isn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, how did they?
But how's that helping you then? That's what I'm saying. They're playing more players than the Knicks, but the Knicks are better.
And
what which working better than what Golden State's doing?
I don't know. Whatchamacallit? Because I know Golden State right now is, I think, 6th or 5th in the West. No, because they're 6th in the West.
Well,
right now.
That's Jimmy Butler though. That's talent.
But my thing is, even before Jimmy Butler and while they were playing with Jimmy Butler, they go 8 or 9 deep, and right. It's like,
and the Knicks had a better record than them. They just did.
And my.
So what's the point of playing with plays and lose more? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't. My thing is, you're making an assumption that if he plays his bench, he's going to lose.
You're making an assumption that he's going to
win. My thing would be, I would want Tibbs to find out.
Okay.
Because he hasn't done it.
Like Steve Kerr found out he played more plays and he still couldn't win.
Yeah, I mean, but Tibbs hasn't won shit to get the grace that we're giving him. Like Steve Kerr, hey, he gave me a championship. He gave me a couple of them. Now, whatchamacallit? Hey, Tibbs, get me to a conference championship.
So if you think he plays Shamet and whoever they got on the bench, they'll win
no, I'm just saying that, hey, there has to be a way that you can develop your bench and utilize them so that you don't have to play your players, your starting 5 doesn't have to lead the league in minutes played.
But I
don't see what's wrong with that.
No, but I think you do though. I think it's not developing your bench. I just think you just need to. My issue is I think he just needs to play his bench. That's not develop. Yeah. No, but I mean he needs to need to rest his starters. Like, and that's what it'll be there for. But at times, Tibbs is also like, he has a job to hold up. He has to have wins. I mean, these things come into play. Like, I'm not expecting much from almost anyone's bench. But, at times, you might want to allocate some minutes.
Yeah, and it just amazes me that, he doesn't use them. And it's like, everybody else in the league is using them. It's like, come on, man.
The only catch-22 with that is that in allocation of minutes, you're going to more so allocate production.
And
so you're gonna have that's more than likely gonna equate to losses.
And I think part of the reason why I'm so aggrieved with it is because, hey, you're playing your starters like they're the only people on the team, and it's not like, all right, y'all have a winning record against winning teams. Y'all got a winning record against losing teams. Y'all any team that's with a record above 500, they're below 500 as far as their winning percentage against them. So it's not like, yo, this is what we need to do to compete with a Milwaukee, a Boston, or Cleveland and whatnot.
But even if they arrested him, they still might not beat him because they don't have enough talent. They're not as talented as the other teams, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you sat Brunson for 15 minutes out of a game and they lose, it's not equating. I mean, they're winning with this pattern. I just think you're just... The Knicks are in a position in which I think they're just as good as they are. You know what I mean? I think they should just continue playing the way they are because I don't think that they're as talented as Cleveland or Boston. So I'm expecting them to lose.
Okay.
But if they win, I wouldn't be as shocked, though. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to rest them and say you shave off 10 games off of them out the season, and then they'll be fully rested for the playoffs, and they're going as a 6th seed and then do damage like that. One, you're losing home court advantage. If you feel that it won't matter, then that tells me that you think the Knicks – it's either one way. The Knicks are really, really that good, and that they need to be rested, and then they could just go in at any seed and then do some sort of run.
I'm saying this. I'm not making the assumption that if he starts playing people on his bench that they're going to lose. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that, he has to shave 15, 20 minutes off of Jalen Brunson's playing time. But, damn it, let's try some of it. Let's try to use the bench. Let's try to save OG's legs for the playoffs. Let's try to shave off, especially for the players that you know are injury prone, like an OG. You should be trying to put him on a minutes restriction right about now, running into the playoffs.
Healthy or not healthy? Is there any way that you feel that the Knicks could beat the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Boston Celtics?
No.
So it won't matter. Won't matter. I mean, if you feel like how I feel, then I would say, all right, there might be a chance if you salvage some minutes that they can't. You don't have it in any way, so it doesn't even matter.
But my thing is like this. Because of how they play and the fact that they don't use their bench, I don't get to see how that would work out.
They suck.
You know what I mean? Or how it would work out with, OG being fresher, or Cat being fresher or whatever. You know what I mean? Let's see how that works out. I've seen how Tibbs works out when he runs the team like he's been running it. Second round at best. And let's go home.
I think the argument is for if you feel that they are just as good or can beat them, the argument is to find minutes. If that's, to me, that's what Mikal Bridges. I'm getting from Mikal Bridges is that we need to rest and we can compete. That's the only. We can compete against Boston or Cleveland. If that's the case, sure, rest them. Give minutes, and then wherever the Knicks fall into is where they fall into, and they'll be healthy and they'll be fresh, and you played it. But then your balls against the wall when you get to the playoffs, and then you're lessening your bench anyway, and this is what you're playing with now. So if that's the case, sure. But if you don't think that they can beat them anyway, you might as well just be playing the way they're playing now. They can't win.
But I would think the Knicks organization is not thinking like Mo about their organization as far as their chances to win, and that they would think that. Hey, we got a pretty good team with Brunson and Cat.
And that's what Mikal's thinking. And Tibbs is thinking, we don't have a good team like that. I got a good 5 or 7. Yeah, and this is what I'm going to play.
I think you just condition yourself. Like, when the playoffs come, you're going to cut the rotation. So then now they're not going to be able, like in the fourth quarter, they're not going to have the legs because they're not conditioned to play that long. So that's how I look at it. If you want to rest them in practice, not the games.
And no, not for nothing, they're not getting paid $35 an hour. They're getting paid $61 million, $35 million. You're enormous amounts of money to do this 82 games.
And I'm not saying that they shouldn't play 82 games. What I'm saying is they should be playing close to 40 minutes a game.
With the equation to me, with money, to me, I should be hearing. I should be watching the product as to watch the product. Period. If y'all can't sustain it, fine. You get hurt. I understand it. But you're getting fully well compensated to be out there. Give me the best product out there. I'm not trying to see your 9, 10, 11, 12 player. We're lucky because OKC is that deep to see some. But at times, I don't even want to see OKC when they be going that deep either. I don't want to see Portland when they're going that deep. Give me your best players. You're getting paid for it. Go out there.
Well, that's where you at, P?
Well, you know me. Will Chamberlain once played a whole season in the 60s. With all the medicine and technology, you mean you can't play 36 minutes? I'm not jacking that.
Okay. Hey, let us know what you guys think. Hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can hit us up directly at WeNeeda5th@gmail.com. Fellas, NFL free agency been ticking up. Got a lot of moves. Recent move announced this morning. Cooper Kupp signed to the Seattle Seahawks. 3 years, $45. And I guess this is their roundabout way of replacing DK Metcalf, who signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Seattle also signed Sam Darnold in free agency. We had Daniel Jones being signed by the Indianapolis Colts to compete with Anthony Richardson for that quick QB job.
I'm Anthony Richardson. I feel like for some reason I feel safe.
Anthony Richardson said when they asked him, "Hey, the organization is thinking about bringing in another QB to compete with you." He's like, "I don't care if they bring in Joe Montana. I'm a compete, and that's my job, basically." So, I think he has a good mindset right now to tackle that challenge. Deebo Samuels, he moved to Washington Commanders. Commanders also made moves on their offensive line, if I'm not mistaken.
Lost Fowler, though, right? Fowler Jr., I think, left.
Mm-hmm. Eagles signed Barkley to extension, made him the highest paid running back all time. I believe they first $20 million a year.
Well deserved.
Running back, whatnot. I think the Chiefs made some moves on their offensive line as well.
Thank God. Protect him.
Right?
Yeah, he's back.
Let him sign them.
That's right.
I'll leave my commentary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Detroit, I think they made a major signing with cornerback from the Jets, Reed, if I'm not mistaken. So, a lot. What moves out there have moved the needle for you guys?
Geno.
I was about to say that.
That's the only one. The rest of them was like, it depends on what the next move is. But I think with Geno, you have a serviceable quarterback.
Yeah, no, like respect wise, like the Raiders, like you need a brain for your robot or for your human. Like you need a quarterback, and I don't think the closest thing to having some sort of a pulse was Garner Minshew. Like I don't.
Yeah, it's like you have this grand computer, but you don't have the chip.
Yeah, it's just, I'm like just get a quarterback.
Yeah,
so,
I think it's Pete Carroll's Pete Carroll's not the youngest guy in the world, so we're not wasting too much time rebuilding. He's trying to get it now.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the oldest coach in the league.
Good for Geno too. Had a good year.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and where he may end up? Right now, it's looking like New York Giants, Pittsburgh Steelers, or Minnesota Vikings as a last-minute dark horse.
Irrelevant.
Oof. Yeah.
It doesn't move the needle for you.
No.
It doesn't move the needle for football.
Wow.
Could care less.
He played for the Jets last year.
Russell Wilson still looking for a job. It sounds like he's the second option among the teams that are considering Aaron Rodgers. He did have a meeting with the Cleveland Browns and the New York Giants. They
I guess the Giants.
where would y'all like to see him?
Nowhere. I have no interest in Russell Wilson. None.
If he was good, he wouldn't be out there.
Wow.
No, really. Like someone would have signed him. Like, is Mahomes on the market? Is Josh Allen on the market? Is Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts? None of these people are on the market. There's a reason you're on the market.
I mean, we can give him a fly over here on my team and save some money on Brock. Let Brock walk.
Ooh.
Give me Russ and save the team.
Wow.
And get assets.
Whoa. What you call it? Joey Bosa. I think he's still looking for a job somewhere. Where y'all think he should end up?
I think you can help a team. Whatever team needs a pass rusher, Again, there's a reason. There's a reason he's available.
Any free agency moves that you guys are looking for or looking at?
Well, Purdy, right? Technically, he's a free agent, right?
Brock.
Yeah, Brock.
Yeah. Is that it?
I feel strongly that San Fran's going to sign him because I feel like all these moves were being made for quarterbacks. I think these teams, if they thought he was available, would have shoot their shot with him. So I think he's going to stay where he's at.
They got to have a nice number though, and he's not taking pennies on the dollar. Yeah. As he should.
But Debo's going. I feel they'll be if need be, there'll be casualties to clear up some space, some money for him.
Lynch loves him.
All right. Maybe this is a too soon question, but based on what you've heard from the free agency and stuff like that, any early favorites for next year? You see Philadelphia repeating?
I think a clear favorite.
I can see a rubber match. Chiefs, Eagles.
Okay. I don't know, man. And maybe I'm sipping the Kool-Aid, but I like what the Washington Commanders are doing down there, and
It's not a bad choice.
Yeah,
Definitely contenders. Yeah, without a doubt.
I think they may make some noise with that. Let's move on to entertainment. Kind of a sad story when you think about it. Dawn Robertson, formerly of En Vogue, Lucy Pearl, just to name a couple of groups that she was in, recently released a YouTube video not too long ago describing how she's been living out of her car for the last 3 years. Stem from it seems that she reports that family and an ex kind of left her high and dry. Seems like complications with her money, basically, and it didn't work out. And she was asked to leave her family's, her mother's household. Made a trip to California to meet up with a friend, and reports that that friend was, trying to be shiesty, not totally above board. It had to leave that situation and eventually moved into her car and started living out of her car. First, let me ask your thoughts on Dawn Robinson before you heard this story. How did y'all feel about her? I know me personally, I was a fan, and fan since she came out with En Vogue, whatchamacallit. Even a fan while she was with Lucy Pearl. So
She just danced at the All-Star game. She was just at the NBA All-Star game in Oakland.
I didn't really do
They
that.
brought her out in Vogue. Like,
wow.
they just, how'd they get her?
Yeah.
I mean, push against the wall. The human spirit is either what, fight or flight. She took flight. I mean, is it humbling to go get a job?
Yeah. I would imagine if you're a so-called celebrity, it's tough to have that. Aren't you? What happened?
Yeah. So you fly. So you run, and then you go live in a car. I mean,
yeah, it's to go back to your question. Big fan of En Vogue. Oh my God, I had a crush on all of them.
Yeah,
including,
yeah.
With all due respect, I know that some are probably married and all that, but all due respect, beautiful young ladies. Yeah, it's just it's a horrible story, but a familiar story. The hit stopped, and if you didn't take care of things on the business side, this is where a lot of artists end up in this type of situation, unfortunately.
And this is the part of the story that we don't get to hear a lot as fans.
I think we hear a lot of it all the time. I think they love art over business. They never take care of it.
And it goes back to like the chilling circuit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the 30s, the 40s. Like it almost. Of course, my heart goes out to her. I wish her well, but for someone who keeps seeing this story, you almost like, how do you not get it? It's kind of like the professional athlete that goes broke or has all these, baby mothers and they go broke. Bro, you did not see the past 2, 3, 4 generations before you. So I wish her well, like I said, but this is all too familiar.
And she's fortunate in the sense that it seems like there's still people that are willing to reach out to her to try to offer her some resources, some assistance. But to your point, whether or not she'll take it,
Yeah, I guess I'm a pessimist. I think a lot of that's cap.
Kicking her when she's down.
Why are you doing it now?
Kicking her when she's down.
I find it hard to believe nobody knew about this.
The ex-husband.
Right.
They're not on good terms.
Radio station, you can't give her a slot time. Record label, you can't put her in the A&R division. She clearly knows what she's doing. She was part of one of the most successful groups of all time. So
we love to see him fall, though.
Yeah,
not us, but
I think
we love to see
people love to see an accident, or people like the whole Phoenix thing. I like to see you go closest, crash and burn. People like to see that. That's I mean, to be honest, that's why it was on YouTube. I'm sure it got a lot of views.
That's why we're talking about it.
It's an interesting story, right? We don't like it, but people are interested in these type of stories for whatever the reason, whether it be malicious or just like this general interest. But I hope someone reaches out and helps her get on her feet. But I think a lot of it I just look at a lot of it would be grandstanding, because you could have done this before the YouTube video.
And that goes to say, like you were saying, like, what are your relationships you're doing from En Vogue?
Right. You can't call the head of your record label. I mean, I'm sure, and she might have it. And that's what I'm trying to say. I think people already turned their back on her.
And it could be more to the story. It's like, maybe people said we did, but
she's hard.
Listen, Dawn's a nightmare. Or Dawn possibly might need some help. She's going through something right now that we don't want to divulge too much into, but I think mental health is probably an issue for this. And we just don't know. Not to say that she is.
Yeah.
Right.
Because she sound coherent when she was speaking, but you never know. Like, people could be coherent on the interview and then totally batshit crazy on the
Yeah.
next time. So it's people like you don't know. Like people say like, hey, we tried, but this is what happens. We had her here for 2 weeks, and look at the holes in my wall. And it's like, oh well, I didn't know that.
Right. You say, oh, basically, it sounds like you said got kicked out of her mother's house. So you don't want to pass judgment, like you said. You don't know. You don't know why that happened. You don't know who's the fault, or if somebody is the fault. Maybe it's just some type of irreconcilable differences. Unfortunate situation. That's
Very unfortunate, but more common than not, though.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
And we definitely send our prayers out for her and hope that she is able to get the resources and assistance that she needs or requires for the journey that she's on.
Yeah, and frankly, anybody who's living in the car, I hope that for. Not just celebrities.
People are still taping Delonte West.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like he made over $20 million at the most, and they're videotaping it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I think the celebrity heightens it obviously, but yeah, anyone who's living in a car or down in their luck, we wish you the best.
Definitely.
We hope somebody reaches out to you and puts you on your feet. You know what I mean? Like it's not just we hope celebrities get help. We hope everyone gets help.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, get a charger and keep that camera rolling.
Hey, listen.
Well, nowadays you can monetize that.
Yeah, hey,
monetize
listen.
the pain, I guess.
Get your money.
People are going to monetize your pain. You might as well monetize your own, I guess.
Yeah. Well, listen. Everybody else making money. Fellas, we got some rest in peace shout outs to do. First, Oliver Miller, aka Big O, Arkansas Razorback basketball player, NBA basketball player, passed away at the age of 54 due to cancer. So want to send our condolences and our well wishes to his family, of course, and his fans. And rest in peace, brother. Also want to send a rest in peace to Dwayne Wiggins, 1/3 of Tony Tone. He also passed away due to cancer, and he passed away at the age of 64. Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, like, just think of him, Dwayne Wiggins, and Big O. As we get older, these things are becoming a little bit more common. But just to think, that was 30 years ago, watching them in Arkansas. 30 plus years. Yeah, 35, 33 years ago. Wow.
Yeah. And Tony. Classics. This it never raised in Southern California.
This is but it's like you said, this is just the cycle of life.
Yeah.
I guess. You know what I mean? You want to just take care of your health
and also both of these brothers died of cancer. So I want to put out to our older fans out there, hey,
screenings.
Do your screenings, do your checkups. Definitely, hey, monitor your health and stay on top of it, man. Fellas, what's on the radar?
NCAA.
That's it.
I got it proven wrong. I said the guy would probably go 28-0 for the regular season. Well, they got 3 losses with Duke. He's not playing. They're in a ACC championship game today. Will Cooper be ready, or do they sit Cooper for his NBA?
What would you do with Cooper?
Some people out there who believed in DraftKings, so I would play Cooper. Doesn't help me in the next level because I'm not putting that much money on the Wizards. I mean, is the Wizards out? What are they?
Yeah,
is the Wizards out with the Wizards? Jeez. So I'll rush them back out there as soon as possible. I want that chip. I mean, she wanted for Duke. I mean, how bad is it?
I'm never gonna cheer for Duke, yo. I don't care who they have, yo. Never.
Yeah, no.
Never.
Yeah. Get him out there as soon as possible. Yeah, but that's why I'm at. NCAA, women and men's.
Okay.
So this is the fun time of the year.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch it, you can get a midday, 12, 1 o'clock, and have multiple screens. This is what it's all for, bro.
P, what's on your radar, man?
Man, a lot going on this week. I know you're in the chat. You were putting like Isaiah Evans. We'll get to that because we're gonna go heavy NCAA next week.
Boy,
Isaiah Evans. Stock market. That's a whole other thing. But I woke up this morning. I saw James Harden. Yeah, it's a market crash this week. But anyway, James Harden passed Elvin Hayes for 12th all time on the all-time NBA scoring list.
That's something.
That's impressive.
That's something.
And
right?
Elvin,
Come on.
and I think Elvin Hayes has to be the most underrated, great superstar
Absolutely.
player ever.
And he probably didn't travel half as much as James did to get his points.
Wherever he goes.
That's cool. Whatever you want to say.
Wherever he goes.
Only 11 dudes got more buckets than him.
Yeah.
Ever.
That's first ballot. That's first ballot, clearly.
Yeah. So shout out to James Harden, man. That's pretty impressive.
Did, man.
Shout out to Elvin Hayes too, man. I feel like he just does not get enough. But this is James Harden's time, so congratulations, man.
A 6 man who always knew he was a 1. Yeah. Always knew it.
On my radar, new Reacher series. I'm gonna get into that. March Madness, of course. I'm be honest. I'm more captivated on the women's side of March Madness right now. I think they have a little bit more parity.
It's much better than last year, though, right? Because you was more so women's last year than you were men's last year.
Yeah, I think this time I'm leaning more to the men's. Last year was the women's. I didn't really care about the men's last year.
Yeah,
It's pretty fun. Johnny's.
Yeah. Got some local flavor. Yeah.
Toast sip the Kool-Aid.
Johnny's. Bring the mother. Will they get in there, Ruckers?
Oh no! When I say local flavor, it's St. John's. That's
Toast sip the
underwhelming
Kool-Aid.
at best.
Then, man, where's my guy Cal at? Where's Cal at? Cal ain't making it either.
No.
He's on the bubble, I believe.
I don't think Cal's gonna get in there. But yeah, man, like Coop get healthy. I'm ready for this. And just whatever y'all do, just make sure that Harlan or what you call it, Gus. What Birdie? Definitely Birdie. Kiss should be there too. And quietly shout out to my man Grant.
Okay.
I'm a Grant guy.
Okay. All right. Fellas, anything else before we get out of here?
At all. Enjoyed it, the tournament.
Definitely.
It's extra Sunday, man.
Hey, be safe.
Peace.